What's the challenge? In an online environment, teachers and students are physically separated, so we need new ways for them to communicate and form caring relationships. Is there any research describing the ways teachers and students communicate in online environments? Are there any new models that look promising? Yes. Researchers at Brigham-Young University have published several studies since 2013 on a school that uses a model called shepherding. This model was created to lower student attrition in online courses through improved student-teacher relationships. All of the studies took place with teachers and students from Mountain Heights Academy, an online charter school in Utah that now serves grades 7 through 12. In 2011 through 2012, there were 381 students and 21 teachers. 86% of students were taking all or most of their courses online. So, what's the shepherding model? Teachers are assigned 20 through 25 students and are responsible for being a shepherd to these students. Sometimes these students are students in their classes, but not always. While the teachers look to form relationships with all the students in their classes, they go to great lengths to form personal relationships with the students in their shepherding group. What kind of research was done on teacher-student relationships at Mountain Heights Academy? Small-scale exploratory studies were done using focus group and individual interviews and qualitative data coding methods. The largest study included 11 instructors. What strategies do teachers use in scheduling their time with students? One teacher said, "My job is set up so that I have 4 hours a day for individual student conversations and tutoring. I make an effort to know which hours are most convenient for my students and set my hours to match." Another teacher said, "I'll check up on the kids all the time, all day. Even if they don't have a question, I go through my contact list and I'll just write them a quick note, 'Hey, just want to check in on you to see how you're doing today.'" A third teacher said, "I always try to get back with students who contact me within 24 hours at most." Many examples of conversations in the studies fell into 3 types: personal interest conversations, cheerleading conversations, and liaison conversations. A teacher said, "One day, I started G-chatting with a student who never turned his work in, trying to get to know him and seeing if I could get him to open up. During the conversation, we found a common interest of showing chickens at the fair and talked about his chickens that whole semester. I noticed an academic improvement." A second teacher said, "I feel like one of my most important jobs is really to cheer them on. You can do this, I will help you. I'm on the other side of the computer with my virtual pom-poms." These conversations were done primarily with email, IM, and text messages. Another teacher said, "I have a lot of kids that call me and say, 'I am so stressed about this class, I don't know what to do.' I almost become their counselor and say, 'Okay, well, let's go talk to your teacher.' Sometimes I have even gone with them to talk with this other teacher and say, 'Okay, this is what we need to do.' Just to be that ally, they need to be successful." Another teacher said, "I've had students where I've shepherded them and I find out something crazy is going on at home, and then I'm able to tell all the other teachers, and that we're all able to come up with an action plan of how to help that student." What were the teachers' perceptions of how these strategies worked? Teachers reported that their open-ended and one-on-one conversations allowed them to achieve deeper levels of communication than they had experienced in face-to-face classrooms. They also reported that the shepherding program increased their job satisfaction. A teacher commented, "I went into teaching because I wanted to have personal interactions and personal relationships with students." Another teacher said, "Shepherding reminds me of why I went into teaching." Teachers also reported that shepherding gave them peace of mind. One teacher said, "It can be overwhelming to make sure that all my 160 students that I teach feel cared for. Shepherding helps me hone in on a smaller group of students." Another teacher said, "It gives me comfort in knowing that everyone in the school was taken care of because every student had a shepherd." Did the teachers prefer text, phone, or video-based communication? Teachers found video technologies helpful because they convey the students' body language and tone of voice. But teachers acknowledged that students preferred text-based communication, especially at first. So teachers first established a relationship of trust to help students become confident and willing to open up. Then teachers help students progress from simpler to more complex technologies. One teacher commented, "I keep a spreadsheet documenting each student's individual communication technology preference." So, what's the takeaway? The researchers of these studies have concluded that even though teachers and students are physically separated in online learning contexts, caring interactions are possible. However, more research is needed about these interactions. For next steps in exploratory research studies, the researchers suggest that future research should triangulate findings from teacher interviews and student interviews, virtual observation and content analysis of emails and discussion boards. And they also suggested that because teachers saw advantages for video communication, research should be done that explores whether some of the newer video strategies, currently in use in university settings, might also be helpful in K-12 contexts. Eventually, studies will need to be done to establish a quantitative link between the use of these strategies and better student outcomes. The online school that these researchers studied was relatively small. Can the strategies they describe be applied in a larger context and in online schools that operate differently? That's the very question we want to ask you. What are your views based on your experience? Let us know.